Starc, what score you are looking to declare straight away?
I haven't spoken to Pat yet, so I don't know. Not my decision. Keep batting for now. It's we've still got 2 days to play, so weather's been good. I think it's warmer tomorrow. Hopefully the pitch starts playing a few more tricks, but as far as I know it, we're still batting tomorrow.
Mitch, what did you make of your day in the field today, or the day generally? It seemed to be a pretty mixed sort of a day.
Yeah, it's probably been a mixed. Yeah, certainly a mixed day. Yeah, the wicket's starting to play a few tricks here and there, staying a bit low. Obviously, a few jumping up. I thought we've created enough chances. Probably bowled a bit inconsistent throughout the innings. We knew scoring was going to be quite quick with obviously the square, the full way across, and India playing quite aggressive. So, yeah, I think we know we can improve on that first innings, which is, I think, an exciting thing for the group to still take 10 wickets for just under 300. Plenty of room to improve, but not too bad.
Mitch, for all the prep you've done, Beckenham and all that stuff, particularly for fast bowlers, how tricky is it to get into rhythm when you're not playing a game, for a red ball game for a few months? Does it take a while to get the rust off? It
did actually. I think we all came into the game feeling pretty good. Certainly the work we've done back home, and then obviously leading into coming over, and then the work we had done through the time at Beckenham. Everyone certainly felt pretty good. The rhythm felt there, and then it takes a bit. Obviously the game time rhythm is a little bit different. So we all struggled slightly for that rhythm yesterday. I think everyone felt a bit better today. So the fact that we still took 10 wickets and created more than 10 chances throughout the first innings is a good sign that we've got plenty of room to improve and certainly get that rhythm back. But we'll be better for the run.
Mitch, is it a pitch where it's difficult to figure out what length exactly to bowl at, because so many balls are doing different things off various lengths, and is the end, like when you're bowling from the pavilion end, is that the end from where you're bowling where a lot more is happening?
It's certainly showing more signs of inconsistency as we go on, obviously. Seems to be a good toss to lose. But yeah, I think obviously with the weather we've had and the weather that's coming up, it might play some more tricks. I felt like we all our group certainly felt like bowling from the far end, we didn't quite have the same rhythm as we did from the pavilion, and so whether that's I certainly felt like the other end was uphill into the wind and just played a part in not being able to find that rhythm. So bowling from the pavilion and certainly felt a lot freer, and we all felt a bit better today. So yeah, in terms of the lengths, I still think our lengths don't really change from our discussions. If it's going to be natural variation there off the wicket, that's certainly a good thing for the bowlers. So we saw that again with India in the second innings and the new ball. Certainly played some tricks with Martin jumping around, but I think it's supposed to be 29 tomorrow, and a bit of sunshine on that wicket might just play a few more tricks as the game goes on.
Mitch, I know you're not a selector, but next week seems like it'll be the first time in a long time that the 4 quicks will all be fit at the same time and available for a test. Do you think in your mind the big 3 still exists with yourself, Josh and Pat, or has Scott now forced his way into that and there's going to be a proper, a very hard decision to make next week if he does come in?
Certainly tough decisions. I think you've just seen the way that Scotty's bowled here already and what he offers. I think the beauty is that we all offer certain things, and no one bowler's the same. You obviously got Michael Nessa around as well, and Sean Abbott he's the only he plays here at Surrey, so we've got a good contingent. Much like we did last tour here, we picked attacks based on the grounds or who we were up against as well. So whether that's another plan of attack, I'm not sure. The fact that we've got 6 guys and 6 quicks and 2 spinners to around the group at the minute, leaves options open for no matter what they want to do. So yeah, Josh is getting himself right for that first test. I think he's having a trial tomorrow. Scotty, the way he's bowled throughout the summer and then certainly this week, definitely makes it a hard decision as well. So yeah, it's a good problem to have.
Mitch, just on from yesterday, your delivery to get out Coley yesterday was obviously a key wicket. Was that part of a preconceived plan, sort of bowling to him there, or was that just one that came out well and you got lucky?
Pretty much. No, like I said, from that far end, I sort of struggled to find some rhythm. So just sort of went back to trying to run in and hit the wicket and managed to find a bit of extra bounce and find the thumb. So, yeah, it was a nice one to get.
Mitch, how do you look at Ajinkya Rahane's innings, considering the fact India were under pressure? And do you think that his innings might give inspire the Indian batsman in the fourth innings? That if he can play like innings like that, maybe in the top order, which is due for a big innings?
Hope not. No, he played really well. We know Jinx can play innings like that. We've seen it, through series before, and he came in at a tough time to bat and managed to sort of, along with Thakur as well, to absorb some pressure there and build an innings and played really nicely. So it took a special catch to get him out, and certainly that partnership was one that sort of prolonged our bowling innings, I guess. But I think they both played pretty well. Jinx probably was a little bit more, waited for the bad ball and built his innings and then built a nice partnership. So we know what a good player he is, and he's done in the past, and hopefully we can get him out early in the second innings.
Mitch, which grounds in this country do you feel suit your bowling the most?
Based on last series, not many. I don't know. I guess this is my fourth tour here now, so probably seen different grounds present different conditions across the previous three tours. So it'd be interesting to see how those wickets present throughout this series. After they've already said they want fast, bouncy wickets, which I don't think they can produce in England anyway. So we'll wait and see. But we've got 2 days of cricket here to focus on first, and we'll get onto the Ashes after that.
Mitch, Rahane and Thakur scored at 5 and over this morning, not dissimilar to the way that we expect England to go at you next week. Some catches went down. The captain looked pretty frustrated when he booted the ball away just before lunch. Will you guys be able to keep a lid on...
He was 3 metres out of his crease, so...
Will you guys be able to keep a lid on frustrations and make sure the mistakes don't creep in if England are going at you hard in front of a baying crowd at Edgbaston next week?
If you think that was frustration, it's very interesting. He had a smile on his face, so... No, yeah, look, they obviously batted pretty well. We kept pretty aggressive fields, which is the nature of having a first innings that we did with over 450 runs. So, again, with the square that goes the whole way across this field, we know it's going to be high scoring with balls that sort of get through the infield are going to race away anyway. So, as I said before, we got plenty of room to improve on our first innings of bowling. Again, we created more than 10 chances. So, hang on to a few other catches or whatnot, and perhaps that first innings scores a lot less. So, we're not too frustrated at all.
Hi. That first session was a little bit up and down, I think you're saying. Catches dropped and the LBW off a no ball and bits and bobs. But sharpened up pretty quickly after the lunch break, that amazing Cameron Green catch. Can you just talk through what was said at the interval, if anything?
Nothing really. Had my lunch, put my boots back on and went out and bowled. So, no, we have the odd conversation with what the guys see off the field. Pat and Andrew obviously have a few discussions around tactics with a few of the assistants, but not too much was spoken. Just the fact that we were probably a bit sloppy in that first session, and just to sharpen up, as you mentioned there, was pretty much all that was said as we went back onto the field, and I think we did that. And I couldn't tell you exactly what it was, 40 for 4 or something like that. So step in the right direction heading into obviously in the second innings and the rest of the tour.
Mitch, was Marnus actually asleep when he was waiting to go out to bat?
I don't know.
The screens showed it.
Resting his eyes. I think he mentioned it when he came off, actually, that he was just resting or having a little doze off. So, but obviously he's able to switch on pretty quickly. So, copped a few across the knuckles to wake him up, and he's done a very good job in that last session today as well to to fight through some difficult situations there and to keep the scoreboard ticking over with Steve, and then later to get through with Greeny, which was nice.
Mitch, you've spoken a bit in the past about how you're prepared to go for a few more runs compared to Pat, Josh and Scott, and being a different kind of bowler. How does that change at all when you come up against England, who will try to hit you for a few more runs per over, right?
Yeah, they probably will. I think that airspeed probably comes into it. Those ones that, those miss hits square of the wicket or behind square probably tend to race away the quicker the bowling. So, I mean, it's been plenty of times in the past I've gone for more runs than the other guys. Again, that the role that I play is more of an aggressive role, and to bring in those stumps and bowl those fuller lengths and create those chances. So, there'll be plenty of discussions after this game. First and foremost, we're here to win a Test championship, and then we'll focus on the England side with the next 5 tests. But as I said before, all the bowlers complement each other differently with different skill sets and the way we go about it, which I think creates a good problem to have in terms of selection. Thank you.